Hello, welcome to the day 6 of the virtual SIP. And today we have a very special guest in the house. And she will be telling us about clean energy transition and women in power as a change maker. My name is Abdulatif Aliyu. I'm from Nigeria, and I'm one of the organizers of the virtual SIP. And also I'm with the Young Professional Subcommittee Region 8. So I would like to say good morning, good afternoon, and good evening from wherever you're joining us from. And you should feel relaxed and enjoy this session. We have Simay Akar in the house, and Simay will be telling us about clean energy transition and women in power as a change maker. Hello, Simay. How are you today?
Hello, Abdul. Very good. How are you today? It's a great start of this Congress of the day
All right.
6.
That's very good. We're so excited to have you here. And I know that we still have other sessions that will also feature you, like the SAC session. And also later in the evening, we'll still be joining the Sudan session for their program. So no, without no further ado, we can get to it. So Simei, tell us about the clean energy transition. Thank you.
Thank you so much for the introduction. And hello, everyone. Very excited being here again with women engineering session. So in particular to clean energy transition. Let me just share my presentation. And I hope it is fine. So this is actually the Women in Engineering track, and I would like to highlight the clean energy transition and the role of the woman in this clean energy transition, and how we can take initiative in this clean energy transition. Not only women, of course, all together. So this is like more specific to renewable energy is focus. So I would like to introduce myself a little bit. If you're not familiar, we don't know each other, I hope we will meet one day in somewhere around the world, somewhere around the region, and that day is really close. I believe in that. So I'm an IEEE senior member at this year 2020, but I joined IEEE as student member in 2007. And as like many of you, I changed many different hats and many different roles, and every year is changing. Every couple of years is changing. So I was very dedicated student volunteer. So I had a chance to get involved in Region 8 Student Activities Committee those years in 2012. I was at 11. I don't really remember, but I actually served many positions since then. So I have been in IEEE Turkey student branches, in my student branch. Of course, I'm a young professional now working for a renewable energy industry. I will talk a little bit more about my background and my day job as well, so it makes more sense to connect with the topic. And I'm a member of IEEE Power Energy Society. I'm also serving several roles there. I have been in different committees as well. One of them is Women in Power Committee. I'm vice chair in Young Professionals Liaison there, and Young Professionals vice chair in upcoming committee. I have some roles as well. So I have been involved in humanitarian activities for a couple of years. Currently, I'm serving a communication chair for IEEE Site Global Steering Committee and also for Women in Engineering. Currently, I'm a chair of Women Engineering Turkey section, but I have served positions like Region 8 Women in Engineering Coordinator in 2015. And also currently, but since then I have served several roles in MGA, Women Engineering. So it's like these are all like my passion. And I'm MJ Vice Chair for Student Activities, IEEE Student Activities Committee. MJ is the Member Geographic Activities. As you know, it's like a global committee of IEEE students. So I have awarded several IEEE awards. Like they're just not like a title or roles for me. They're like a passion that is like IEEE really gives you the initiative to serve back to community. So they're actually signed for me that I have good connections. I'm serving to community, so I have more initiative to give back to this community. And actually, in my day job, IEEE helped me to be specialized in the fields of my day job. And those years when I was student member, I was interested in the solar projects at my student branch. We have been involved in several renewable energy projects and as like solar decathlon and many others. So the year of my graduation, I was very sure that I want to work for the renewable energy industries, and I did. So I worked for the photovoltaic panel manufacturers for several years. Then I got hired and for a new role as head of marketing department of one of the PV panel manufacturers in 2015. I graduated from Middle East Technical University, and after working several years in Turkey in Istanbul factory of one of the Chinese PV panel manufacturers, I relocated to China for a position based in China. It had the headquarter of my company, the PV panel manufacturer. So I returned to Turkey for another photovoltaic manufacturer project based in Turkey. And recently, I'm a chief commercial officer and co-founder of a startup company, so lithium-ion battery manufacturer for renewable energy projects, and which is actually, we call it energy storage segment. And also these batteries for another segment, electric vehicles. So like I'm still pretty much involved in the clean tech business, so clean tech segment with the renewable energy experience and passion. So like the renewable energy and clean energy transition itself is a passion for me since the year I graduated. So and of course the IEEE was really important and still is really important for me, and support the knowledge here and still upskill and reskill myself in new segments of even my energy, renewable energy segment in the roles. So recently in June 2020, I got involved in a new project of the company called Innoses, and the headquartered in Shanghai. I'm in Istanbul. So like I lived in China and Turkey most of my life. Well, 3.5 years in China, but I'm still very connected with my business in Chinese manufacturers and Chinese initiatives. So I lived 3.5 years in Region 10. So I have been, I have served several roles in IEEE at MGA or Technical Activities Board regional levels for Region 8 and 10. So we are already like very global, like we are very connected. So we are all global citizens. So in this huge family of IEEE network. So it's not just like I was born and raised in Region 8 and it's my family. So somehow, as like you all feel, many of you feel, we're all family all around the world. So we're a really big family all around the world. If this is your first international event, if you are just getting familiar with IEEE now and you're a student, young professional, woman engineer, senior member, life member, no matter which level are you in. So it's still the same huge global network for all of us. So when I joined IEEE, I was not really aware of global, how big we are. So it actually shows, all the opportunities, shows us like how big it is, and we are connected, and all those connections and networks help us to grow in the field we are passionate for. So renewable energy is one of them. Clean energy technology is one of them for me. So like after that introduction, I hope I didn't keep it short. I didn't keep it long. Sorry, I wanted to keep it short, but somehow we're passionate for it. So I wanted to give you a brief introduction about everything. So leveraging clean energy technologies is another passion for our industry, like the industry I'm working for. So there is an obvious transition in the in the energy sector. So energy transition is going to the direction for the clean energy technologies in the different segments with the new technologies. So we are working hard and for this transition. So like it's changing as like many segments, but we're actually seeing this direction to the renewable energy generation, and renewable-based power generation is increasing every single year. According to IRENA, IRENA is the International Renewable Energy Agency agency's report. According to IRENA's report, we're actually seeing more share of the renewable energy-based power generation by 2030 for 2040 and 2050. It's actually really encouraging to see by 2050, estimation is like more than 86% will be by based on renewable energy. So, and today we're actually seeing, so the report is based in 2017, but we can say more than 25% of the world's power generation is based on renewable energy resources these days, and it's increasing because I mean during the pandemic and the right after pandemic, so it's like a post-COVID era and the COVID era. So we have understood the importance of the energy independency. So like when we experience after a long time, it's a huge pandemic. So our society, our humanity understood the importance of being independent based on power generation. So that's why we are talking about more renewable energy investments today. So it's actually one of the most important reason and step for the energy transition, that we are going to direction to have more renewable based power generation. Oh, sorry. And renewable energy share, there are so many indicators. So it's not just like a renewable energy investments and power generation itself. So we're also talking about the energy efficiency. So like there are so many ways to increase the energy efficiency rate and improvement rate. And again, according to the CMO report, the same report here, and there are so many other reports, like they all show the results we have. Will have more increase in the energy efficiency investments, and also renewable energy share for different segments as well. So by 2030, 40, 50, and more, and later, so we're going to direction that we're gonna have close to 100% renewable energy resources, and it's increasing. And it's not same for every region. So even in some countries that we already seen a great share for the renewable energy power generation, and many of the countries, they're trying to change and support their policies to have more improvement. So this improvement rate is actually increasing every single year and day. So we're actually talking about smart cities and sustainable cities separately. But today, actually, most important thing is highlighting smart and sustainable city concepts. When we actually have clean energy technologies integrated to those smart cities, we call it smart and energy. So sustainable and smart cities together. So like imagine there are like electric cars everywhere around the city, and in infrastructure improved, and they're all integrated into smart city structure, but you don't have renewable energy generation behind. So like in order to reach 100% energy like efficiency from these kind of investments, so we need to focus on every single different parts of the smart and energy cities as well. So electrification is really important plays a really important role in the transition of the energy. And so we're seeing more electrified transportation. We actually have electric cars, so more like heat pumps. So, and renewable energy share in the electricity generation is still increasing, as we mentioned. So like electrification and electrified energy systems plays really important roles in this energy transition. And also digitalization of the energy production and consumption. It's also important for this transition. So we are actually talking about the prosumer concept. What really prosumer is? So we are very used to being a consumer. So like there's power generation from different energy resources from the center, and we just like consume and we pay to the grid and we're connected to the grid. But today we are talking about more prosumer concepts. So we generate those power based on our location, and we consume. So actually, if you're a producer and consumer in the same places, so this prosumer concept is getting really important, and plays also a very important role in energy transition. So distributed energy systems are also very important. And energy technology is actually improving. So here we are talking about for the renewable energy technologies, photovoltaic systems, wind energy, biomass, green hydrogen, and many others. But for each of these energy technologies, they're increasing their efficiencies, and they're trying to be more cost efficient, more accessible. And in near future, so we already have a great access to them. But I can just say that, thanks to all of those improvements, so like every single company in the renewable energy industry, they're trying to do their R&Ds to increase the energy efficiency from these resources. And also there are some great research centers. They're also working hard to increase the efficiency for the photovoltaic and wind. But it's just not just to make them more cost efficient and more accessible, for more financeable for everyone all around the world. So like industry and research centers, they're just like collaborating a lot, and it's actually good news for all of us. So there are different technologies for renewable energy, but there are also different applications. So I just wanted to show a few samples only, but of course they're just not the only ones. And here you can see in the first one, agri-PV, so agricultural PV concept. So generally in the PV installations, you don't really use the land for no other reasons. But with this agro-PV concept, agricultural PV allows you to use the land for agriculture. And some installations and some agricultural products, there are even some benefits having and photovoltaic installations about them. But if you're familiar with photovoltaic installations, they're just a little higher than normal photovoltaic farms. And here in this farm, so you can do agricultural and you can generate electricity from the photovoltaic panels at the same places. So you can also apply the solar cells in different electric vehicles, so like cars and many others, like ferries and so on. So you're probably familiar also with the solar plane, and there are so many different electric vehicles, not electric only, but vehicles, but the combination of electric vehicles and solar cell installations in some part of these vehicles is another improvement. So here we have another concept. You're seeing actually the again the solar car park, and it's possible to apply the solar cells everywhere. And so ideally, you're using the shade of the solar panels for your solar car, car park, and you're just like driving your electric cars to those to your work, your home. You charge your car and use the power generation from the solar panels from our roof. So thanks to all those improvements and deployments in these renewable energy, clean energy technologies, so we have more renewable energy job opportunities by 2050, and in different segments of renewable energy resources. So we have different rates also, but I can say solar, bioenergy, hydro, wind, geothermal, ocean, all those segments are increasing in the transforming energy scenario by 2050, 2030. In a couple of years, every single year, we will have more job opportunities. So actually, the energy itself is transitioning. It doesn't mean that the other people who are working in the conventional and traditional energy sector is losing job. So it's really important to reskill and upskill ourselves in this energy transition. And thanks to those resources, we will have more entrepreneurship opportunities as well. So then we will create more job opportunities for those people, and we will have a fair energy transition in every step. So people are not really losing job. We are creating more opportunities with the energy, renewable energy transition. And these renewable energy job opportunities actually varies in different regions. And here in the Europe, Middle East, and Africa, for our region, and Region 8, and the rest of the world, you can see there's a serious increase in the renewable energy job opportunities, and also for the renewable energy investments and energy efficiency investments, electric vehicles, hydrogen, green hydrogen investments. So we can see the carbon emission is reducing. So what is the role for women in this energy transition? So I would like to just focus on a woman's perspective a little bit more. So this is another survey results, again by the International Renewable Energy Agency. So the shares of the woman in the science, technology, education, and mathematics, comparing to non-STEM, so comparing to non-STEM jobs in energy sector, we can actually see more women involved in non-STEM technical jobs than STEM technical jobs. And most of them are more in the administration part. So like, and here we're seeing more barriers for women to enter energy sector. Is it like always, it's always a question like, is energy sector is like male dominant industry? Yes, it's still a little bit male dominant industry, but it has changed already in the last couple of years. So we're actually seeing energy transitioning itself. So clean energy raising up. And thanks to this change, and also the share of the women's involvement in the energy sector is also increasing. So there are so many barriers in front of women to be in the energy sector, but all those barriers brings the opportunities. So like the perception of the gender roles, cultural and social norms, so like hiring practices, we can count many of these barriers in front of women. But we still also talk about the glass ceiling. So cultural and social norms, lack of flexibility in workplace, lack of mentorship opportunities, all of them are barriers in front of women. So like even as entry level role, like you can just have more hope, but when you go higher positions before being a C-level management level, you will have that invisible glass in front of you, but it's possible to break it. That's why we are all working hard to break these glass ceiling. So like these are still the challenges. I don't want to call them only barriers, that most of the times we are calling them barriers. I want to call them challenges. So that's why we are here together. We're leading these initiatives in IEEE Women in Engineering, in IEEE everywhere, I mean, in different organizational units. So in particularly, women in power, from the partner society. So like in our technical societies, we all have great projects and initiatives to break this glass ceiling, and we have the cooperation with many other NGOs all around the world. So like the sectors are changing and the world is changing, so we're actually playing our role, and we're trying to take our initiative to change this and break this glass ceiling. And glass ceiling is cracking slightly thanks to all of these initiatives. So we are talking about the policies and solutions to change this. So like even we take actions with our projects, but we also know, we're aware they're just like policies and solutions. We're trying to get involved and take initiative to change, make the change in these areas. So we can say like there are like gender targets and quotas in the workplaces, like giving like a quota for the women for the management levels, and also for the entry or mid-level management and the C-level management. So like we can create networks and supporting mentorship opportunities, as we do for the Women in Engineering and also other women initiatives of our organizational units and technical societies. And we need more work and life balance. So that's why we need to initiate the policies and more solutions in the work environments, in the corporate places, in academia, and everywhere around our society. So we need workplace policies and regulations to support all of these. So like that, there are so many things to do, and we are ready to take action. We are already doing our organizational units all around the world. They're part of this transition. And there are some measures to improve women's engagement and deploying the renewable energy access. So according to this online survey, so there are many things to do. So like we still need to raise awareness about this engagement, and mainstreaming the gender energy mainstreaming the gender in energy policies, integrating the gender perspective in energy access programs, enhancing access to the financing for women, access to training and skills development programs has the higher rate from this online survey. And actually from all those programs, we're leading in IEEE and IEEE Women Engineering. We're also trying to provide more opportunities to our members and also everyone in our society. And there's different industries that have barriers in front for hiring and promoting women. So these barriers are like lack of female role models, lack of qualified incoming talent, and women's confidence, aspirations, and lack of work-life balance, and unconscious bias among the managers. So like these are the barriers that experience. And according to World Economic Forum, and this report is like future of the job reports by the World Economic Forum. So it's not just for energy industry. Every industry has experienced these kind of barriers in front of women. And according to another survey and research by Ernst & Young and from 2016, so we actually have 5% of the executive board members, and less senior management and non-executive members from different industries. So like, and at 200 of the world's largest utilities, so we are still seeing really small percentage of the executive board members are female. And for the women's involvement in the board of directors level in the energy, renewable energy sector has also same problem. So like we are seeing the more female involvement in NGOs, governments still less, as like 7%, and the private sector we are seeing very similar rate as like 6% executive board members as females. But for the entry level or different level of management, so we are still seeing the woman, but this kind of surveys shows us, actually the results shows us and reminds us we still have many things to do for this industry. But again, according to another survey in 2019, comparing to 2015's results, women representation in the senior membership has increased slightly. So actually, we are seeing a little increase, but brings us a lot of hopes, like from women involvement, let's see, from entry level to C level. So comparing to entry level, so we have more women involvement in the sector, and also comparing to C-level results, so it increased from 17% to 21% according to this survey. So like any kind of hope brings us more hope to change the world and change this industry together. That's why actually these are all the signs that we are cracking these glass ceiling together slightly, but also very powerful. So there are a few key practices to shape how employees view the opportunities and fairness in their work environment. So this is not just for women. So it's actually for everyone. But of course, we're trying to see this perspective from the women's side, but you know, like Women in Engineering, Women in Power, other women initiatives in IEEE. So actually, we consider all these opportunities for equality. So we need more equal work environment. That's why we have also male members support all these initiatives. We are not a woman organization. So we are equal, we are together, we need equal opportunities, and we need to collaborate, women and men together in these industries, in these workplaces, to change the world for a better future. So like, and here are the few key practices, how we see our work environment. So manager support is really important, just for us to see our work environment, feel more comfortable, and see the work environment fair. And sponsorship opportunities. Sponsorship is slightly different than mentorship. So sponsor brings you more opportunities, like promotion or more tasks. So like we, in some corporate companies especially, we have some sponsors and mentors supports us to get the positions we deserve. But actually, we also work hard for those. And inclusive and unbiased hiring and promotions are also important for us to see our work environment as fair. So what we need equal opportunities and fairness for our work environment. We need more work-life flexibility. So life is not easy for everyone, not for men, not for women. But of course, in different level of our life, women has different responsibilities than men. So like some different responsibilities in our shoulders. That's why we are talking about glass ceiling. We are talking about different opportunities, like maternity leaves and so on. So like these work environment need more opportunities for women, and make it more comfortable for them. So work-life flexibility is really important for people, for all employees, to be more efficient. So we all need to feel safe, and we all need to feel respectful in our workplaces. So actually, to to have more initiative, to take more initiative in our industry. So we need to unlock our own potential. So what we are doing in IEEE. So the topic is the energy transition. I'm part of the Power Energy Society. So we have a Women in Power group under the Power Energy Society. So we are working in different initiatives to take our role in this energy transition. And we have Women in Engineering. As I already said, Women in Engineering is not just a women organization. So we are trying to promote our members. We are trying to give more recognition to our members as like many IEEE volunteer roles and IEEE organizational units. IEEE Women in Engineering is also very important to change the world together. So we have many affinity groups all around the world and so many members in different levels. And we are changing the world together, and we are changing our industries in clean energy transition, in other technology fields. So even from all those surveys, like I shared before, survey results, there was one thing that I just realized. So we all need more mentorship opportunities for our members. So like for our volunteers, for our members, or other people in the society, because actually we are not only changing our volunteers' life, we are changing our society in good direction. So Women in Engineering also celebrates important days to recognize women's achievements. So this is just one of them, that we celebrate International Women's Day, we celebrate International Women in Engineering Day. So I would like to remind everyone, IEEE Day is coming. So if you are IEEE Women in Engineering volunteer, or volunteer of any organizational unit, your student branch, your young professional groups, or elsewhere. So it's a day to celebrate our own potential. So think about that, follow the channels of IEEE Day, and plan your virtual activity, so according the rule, and take your role. We need to actually pursue the things that we love, and we need to support each other. So there's a saying, it says there's a special place in the hell for women who don't help other women. So unfortunately, it's not just we women as like fighting against a male. Actually, we're together, men and women together. We are like fighting for equal opportunities everywhere together. But life is not easy for women, because some women doesn't really have enough support from the other women in their working environment. So I'm sure you're not one of them, because you're watching this presentation today. So you're already aware of this issue. But I would like to remind, if you experience this kind of unfair situation in your work environment, in your school, in your office, from your manager, don't lose your hope. So like we cannot really have the same stereotype for everyone. So you can be the one who will change and who will support other people around you, whether men or women. So we need to support each other. So we need to change the world in good direction, because together we're stronger. So with all these initiatives in our technical societies, in women in engineering, so we bring more opportunities. We give more opportunities to our members, but it's only you can really build your confidence in yourself to change the world, to change the environment around you, and ask the positions that you deserve. If you don't ask, nobody will give you directly. So if you really deserve it, don't hesitate to tell. Don't hesitate to get the promotion, or don't hesitate to apply a job. So you're the one who will build the confidence in yourself, and you're the one who will change the world. So I would like to keep some time for the questions and answer. So this is like my contact details. You can always send me a message, but this is a great opportunity to have interactive conversation. Passion really matters. Let's find our own true passion in our life, and we have to keep working hard for that. Renewable energy and volunteering are one of them for me. So like, I really love being a volunteer. I'm sure you also do. So that's why we are all connected. Thank you very much for listening. Let's have some interactive conversation.
Thank you very much, Simay. Good. Thank you for the wonderful and insightful presentation. And I think we have some questions. And thank you for bringing up the talk of the IEEE Day. You know, I'm also the regional lead for Africa within Region 8. And we want everyone to celebrate the day, which is 6th of October. So I'm going to go to the question box. I think some of the questions are there. If you're just joining us, please post a question. We still have about 15 minutes to discuss. And also, if you see in the box that the questions that you want to answer is being asked, you can add your vote to that. So they'll be able to take it. So Simay, let me go with the first one. It goes like this. Do you have any plan for improvement of storage of energy? That you have plans for energy storage improvement?
I have plan because that's why I'm a co-founder for an energy storage company. Yeah, of course. So like, well, generally the world has a lot of plan. Not only me. It was just a good answer to start because you know, like, this clean energy transition is passion for my life. So one of the passion I have. That's why I'm part of this renewable energy sector for a while. So after you know, just having the experience, then and I found out there are opportunities. So and the world needs more energy storage solutions and advancing the value chain from everything. So I got involved. I took initiative and got involved in one a startups company's formation. So and since 2000 June that I got involved in that. But behind the scene, it's just like there's a huge development for energy storage, not just for one technology behind. So, but in particular, I took my responsibility. I took a role in the lithium-ion battery manufacturing value chain. So, like, I can say, like, it's like they support each other. So, like, when we have more renewable energy investment, so we have also more problems to solve or more needs to solve. So like here, that's the discussion. So when we have more renewable energy investment, so we need to store also, we have to find energy storage solutions to support these systems. And actually some of the major systems, energy storage systems, and in particularly some countries like in Europe or some in different parts of the world, we are seeing like after they reach out a certain level of the renewable energy installations, so there are more needs of the energy storage. So it's got like the world is going to that direction. It's not just the distribution generation. There are so many benefits of energy storage solutions. That's why not only for lithium-ion batteries, but for other technologies behind also, we need more improvements. So there are ways.
Okay, thank you very much. I think we have the second question. I think it's coming from Rida Kari. And he said, what is the average of solar energy from the 25% of clean energy? I think he picked that up from your presentation. Knowing that except solar energy, it is so hard to have high from other type of clean energy.
True, energies like solar energy share is getting higher every single day. So I can say like a total more than 10%. I think 12% is already solar energy. So from I can just show from the presentation again, but and when we look at the direction for the future, also solar energy is increasing, because like for example, like countries like Costa Rica, they're very close to 100%, right? So they're one of the pilots. If you're familiar with the clean energy industry, so Costa Rica is one of the pilots and role model for the industry. They reach out 99% of some level, but couldn't reach out 100% yet. So we have discussed this in our industrial talk several times. So even for the Costa Rica, it's not easy for them after a certain level to reach out 100% renewable energy generation, because their power generation is based on different resources, mostly geothermal and hydro. And in order to reach out 100%, now they start talking about more solar energy installations, energy storage technologies, and so on. So like there is no one single renewable energy resources allow us to reach 100% of power energy generation by renewables. So they all support each other, and they're different and based on energy efficiency in different countries in the world. And there are ways to improve their efficiency based on the conditions.
All right, thank you very much for that response. I think we still have 4 more questions to go, but very lucky for us, we still have time to talk about them. Let's go to the next question, and it says, do you think countries with high production of gas and petroleum will encourage clean energy? Countries like Nigeria and Saudi and that have a lot of petrol.
Yeah, actually, like one of the high demanding regions are now is like those ones. Even like we have good renewable energy plans from Europe, North America, Australia. There's a huge demand in Africa, Latin America. So like there are so many installations. Like when we always think about those countries that you mentioned, like Saudi or Middle Eastern countries, and they're still very important investment for the future, because it's the transition. So like when we have gas and petroleum and so on, energy still renewable energy installation and power generation supports us, and all those resources, there are different ways to use them. So then, and just like when we have more installations, there are still more opportunities for those resources. So that's probably why we're seeing a lot of great news from the region, like Middle East region, and the other regions that who are very famous with their gas, and because we have one world, and all those installations, they will help us to change the world together, and we are doing.
Thank you very much. Well taken. We have the next question from Bozena, and I think she has been with us since the start of the presentation today.
Another role model for us.
She sent her regards through the chat, although you're unable to see them. But the question is, since you're a global citizen, which region is in the highest demand of power energy investment?
Mm-hmm.
I think you share some statistics, but I think which of the region is in the highest demand of power energy investment?
Thank you so much, Bertrana, for the question. And I will have to say that you're a really great role model for all of us and to me. And back to the question. So, like, of course, every region has a different demand. And they're just changing. So, like, there are different demands for also different renewable energy resources. Now I gave the example of Costa Rica, but in some countries like hydro or geothermal resources are more than solar and wind and so on. So we have different estimation numbers and different map for each of those resources. But I can say, just like for the clean energy transition, so there is a demand everywhere. So they all combine to each other. For the value chain, so like for manufacturing, we are seeing the Asian countries are more dominant to bring more resources. But there's a huge potential in Africa, Latin America for the clean energy technologies, energy storage technologies. there are already very clear, like the estimation numbers for Europe, Australia, Japan, China. China is one of the, just the leading country for the renewable energy resources, and North America has also clear policies and direction for the renewable energy installation, and a huge demand in the rest of the world. So we are seeing that demand is increasing everywhere. So and I can highlight different numbers for each renewable energy segment.
All right, thank you very much, Simay. I think we are pressed for time. We just have about 90 seconds to end this session. But there is one other short question, and I think you can answer that along with the closing remarks. What is your vision about the direct current microgrid integration with the existing grid? And if you can just answer that quickly, and we can pass the closing remarks and join the next session for the SAC.
Like I can take these questions offline because there's a long answer for that. So it's
Okay.
I'll be happy to discuss for anything about the microgrid integration and energy storage or installations and everything. So we'd like to greet everyone for.
All right. Thank you very much, Simay, and thank you for giving us the statistics and insightful presentation. We do enjoy this session very much, and for all of us that have had the patience to stay with us to the end, and thank you very much. Feel free to contact Simay if your question is not answered. Apologies because we're pressed for time, but we'll look forward to seeing you in the next session. Thank you, Simay, and have a wonderful time. Good evening, all.
Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye. I'll see you in the next session.
Yeah, next session. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.